Running a program without a charter is like building a house with no blueprint, expensive, chaotic, and destined to collapse. Monday morning. Your VP walks into the conference room, drops a folder on the table, and says, "We're launching 3 new projects across 4 departments, you're leading it." No roadmap. No defined scope. No alignment on what success even looks like. Just a vague mandate and a room full of people who all think they're in charge. That chaos right there, a program charter prevents all of it. Today, I'll show you exactly what a program charter is, why it's the single most important document in program management, and how to build one that actually works. A program charter is the founding document of a program. Think of it as the Constitution. It defines why the program exists, what it aims to achieve, and who has authority over what. It is not a project plan. A project plan tells you how to execute individual tasks. A program charter sits above that. It governs the collection of related projects all working toward a shared strategic goal. PMI defines it as the document that authorizes the program manager to use organizational resources. But in practice, it's much more than a permission slip. It becomes your North Star when priorities clash, budgets shift, and stakeholders start pulling in completely different directions. Without it, you're just a coordinator. With it, you have legitimate authority to lead. Without a program charter, you're building on sand. Teams interpret goals differently because nobody wrote them down in one place. Executives change direction without informing each other. Resources get promised to 3 projects at once, and nobody realizes until deadlines start collapsing. I watched this happen at a mid-size fintech company. They launched a digital transformation program, 5 workstreams, 60 people involved, no charter. 6 months in, 2 project teams were duplicating effort without even realizing it. The steering committee couldn't agree on success criteria because those criteria had never been documented. They burned through almost $1 million before someone finally asked, "Wait, what exactly are we trying to accomplish here?" A 2-page charter written on day 1 would have prevented months of confusion and saved a staggering amount of money. According to PMI's Pulse of the Profession report, organizations that invest in foundational program governance waste significantly fewer resources than those that skip it. The charter is where that governance starts. Every solid program charter covers 5 essential areas. First, the program purpose, a clear statement of why this program exists and what strategic objective it supports. Not something vague like improve efficiency. Something specific, like reduce customer onboarding time from 14 days to 3 by consolidating 4 legacy systems into one platform. Second, scope boundaries. What is included, what is explicitly excluded, and what gets deferred to a later phase. This is where scope creep gets killed before it ever starts. Third, governance structure, who makes decisions, who escalates issues, and who approves budget changes. Name actual roles here, not vague committees that meet once a quarter. Fourth, stakeholder alignment. This means a documented agreement on expected benefits, key milestones, and how success will be measured. Everyone signs off on the same definition of done. And fifth, resource commitments, what funding, people, and infrastructure the organization has agreed to provide. Vague promises don't count. You need committed numbers written down on paper, because verbal agreements disappear the moment budgets get tight. Start with your sponsor. Before you write a single word of the charter, sit down with whoever is funding this program and get crystal clear on their vision. What does success look like to them personally? What keeps them up at night about this initiative? Their answers become your foundation, everything else flows from there. Next, gather input from key stakeholders, but don't try to make every single person happy. A charter is about alignment, not unanimous consensus. You're looking for agreement on direction, not approval on every detail from every voice in the room. Draft it concise. The best program charters I've ever seen are 2 to 5 pages long. If yours stretches to 20 pages, nobody will read it, and an unread charter is exactly the same as no charter at all. Use plain language and skip the corporate jargon. Write it so that someone joining the program 3 months from now can pick it up and immediately understand what's happening. Finally, get it formally signed by your sponsor and key stakeholders. Signatures are not just ceremony, they represent commitment. When a stakeholder signs a charter, they're saying, I agree to these goals, this scope, and these resource allocations. The biggest mistake people make is treating the charter as a formality. Teams rush through it just to check a governance box, then shove it into a shared drive folder and never open it again. That defeats the entire purpose. A charter only works if people actually reference it. Another common trap is writing the charter alone in isolation. If you draft it by yourself and present it as a finished document, stakeholders won't feel ownership over what's in it. They'll challenge your authority later, right when it matters most. Also, don't confuse a program charter with a business case. The business case justifies the investment and answers, should we do this? The charter authorizes the actual work and defines how it will be governed. They are related but not the same document. One more critical mistake, leaving success metrics vague. A phrase like improve customer experience means something completely different to every person sitting at the table. Quantify your outcomes. Tie them to numbers that everyone can objectively measure. Here's what I want you to do right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Open a blank document and answer just 3 questions. Why does this program exist? What specific outcomes will it deliver in the next 12 months? And who has the authority to make decisions when conflicts arise? Those 3 answers are your charter in its earliest form. Flesh them out, get your sponsor to review and sign off, and share the document with every stakeholder who matters. That single act of clarity will save you from more chaos than any project management tool or software ever could. If this helped you see program charters differently, hit subscribe. I break down program and project management concepts every week in a way that actually makes sense for the real world. That's a wrap, thanks for watching. If this gave you one idea you can use today, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next one.